React doesn't have any built-in routing capabilities, so when it comes to handling routing, you have a number of options. Now in this project, I'm going to use something called React Router Component. So now that we have that installed, we can go ahead and begin using it. Now that it's part of our application, we need to address the issue that JSX does not support namespacing, so we need to identify the methods from our router component that we need to access. The first being locations, and the second one being location. So I begin using that here, and the way we're going to do this is we are going to wrap our entire application in this template. And the way we use React Router Component is we set up a parent component called locations, and then as children of that we identify each of those locations using the location component, and the signature for that is path followed by handler. And we're going to have 3 of these. Our first path is just going to be our root path, and the handler is the component that we want to show on that path. So in this case, in our root path, we want to show our catalog component. Our next one will be our cart route, and here we'll show our cart. And then our final one will be item /: item, and that will be our catalog detail component. Now here, when we get to this route, this second argument here, this :item, gets passed as a prop to the component. Now obviously on this page we're using some additional components, so we need to get those in here. Oh, we've already got catalog. We're going to need catalog detail and our template. Okay, now that those are there, let's go ahead and jump over to our template. Here we're clearly going to need React, and we're also going to need our header component. And here I'm just going to drop this in. We've got a div with the class name of container, we've got our header component, and then we've got this props children. So whatever the children of the template are will appear here right after the header. And if we jump back to our app, we can see that those children are in fact either going to be catalog, cart, or catalog detail. So let's jump over to our header. Again, we're going to need React. And in this one, we're also going to need our cart summary component. And again, on this one, I'm just going to drop in our HTML that represents our component. We've got a row, we've got a div with a column of 6, we've got our H1 that says let's shop, and then we're pushing this one all the way over to the right, and we drop in our cart summary component. So let's jump over to our cart summary. We won't quite worry about all the functionality in this one, whoops, but we will set up our basic component. Now this one is going to need to link to our cart route, and the way we do that is with the link component. And the way we set that up, simple href to cart. We're going to give this one a class name of button success, just make it a nice screen. And then for our inner content, we're going to say cart items, and we'll just plug this in for now, quantity and cost. So of course we need React, and we also need our link component from our React Router component. So to get to that, we can just tack it on the end, just like that. So we also need to address our catalog details, since we are instantiating that in our code now. Here we're just going to return null for right now. We're going to drop in our require React, and we're going to run gulp, see if we broke anything. Everything's looking pretty good. Reload over here, and here we've got our catalog route on the root directory. If we jump to cart, we've got our cart route. So if we add a couple items here, jump to our cart, we can see those items reflected there. We'll increase this widget 1 a whole bunch of times, and we can see it's been increased a bunch of times there. So there you go, we've got our first 2 routes, and now we can continue moving forward.